Welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. Today, Huntington Beach Pier, south side. I checked the cameras first thing and noticed that the south side looked good, a little better than the north. So usually we've been on the north side a lot in the last few weeks, and it's been very inconsistent, but we have some very good weather forecasts coming this week, and the surf is smaller than usual, but the tide is out, so it's breaking. So that makes Huntington Beach a good spot to go out on. And so got up earlier than usual, left a little bit earlier, like I said, not a lot earlier, but got there and sun was just starting to peek out. There were still some clouds. I had taken my 6-footer for no reason. I just wanted to compare it. I've been taking the 7-footer. I think I may go back to the 7-footer tomorrow. We'll see. And so I took the 6-footer out and just ran into Eric right away and started surfing. Caught a really good right, and then I caught a really good left where I came off the bottom, and as I was coming off the bottom, I saw a guy paddling out and I had to go around him, which worked out perfect because I came right up over the top of him, then right down the other side, so it was like he wasn't even there. He didn't look that nervous. I must have looked like I knew what I was doing because he just sat there and waited for me to go by. So that's a plus. Thank goodness there's no more shark talk in the water. I'm getting a little tired of that, and there hasn't been any for a few days now, so I'm hoping that they've moved on to the north, I think, is where they're heading, and that'll be a plus. So it looks like the school is starting to have shorter days. I mean, we're getting near the end of the school season. A lot of kids in the water today, and they weren't leaving at 8 o'clock like they usually do. So I had to surf a little bit longer with the crowd, and getting towards the end there, it was hard to find waves because they're all over the place. They like the south side because that's where they compete, so they want to be familiar with it as much as possible as far as the National Scholastic Surfing Association goes. And, of course, the pros come out there also because that's where the U.S. Open of Surfing is held, is on the south side. So you get a lot more talent on the south side than you do the north. So it's a little harder to get your wave, but it is not impossible. So tomorrow we shall see what happens. I'm guessing the north side is going to be good tomorrow because the tide will be coming down still. It was real low this morning. I was standing underneath the lifeguard stand on dry sand, and that stand is on the pier. If you've ever been to the pier, you know the first one you come to just past these stores. And like I say, I was standing up before I went in the water. So it was pretty far out, and so it makes it a little different break, but it was really good. So I had some good surf. Like I said, rights and lefts. My lefts were better today than my rights. The other day, my rights were better than my lefts. It was kept getting beautiful rights right towards the pier and peeling off and paddling right out through the channel. So that was pretty good. But a couple of times I got stuck inside, had to duck dive like 20 times to get out. I felt like going in and walking back to the pier because the current was going to the south. So it's kind of been intermittent this year, but just today it was going to the south, so I was getting pushed further and further south. So I had to keep paddling north, and then when I got stuck inside, I was doing a lot of paddling. Like I said, I felt like I needed to go in and walk back to the pier and go back out again. It's so much easier to paddle out next to the pier. Depending on what direction the current is going, you want to paddle out on the side that the direction is going. So in other words, if it's going south, you want to paddle out on the south side. If the current is going north, you want to paddle out on the north side of the jetty or the pier because the water doesn't. It's deeper for some reason because the sand shifts by the pillars, so the waves don't always break there. So it's easier to get out. But as you work your way down the beach, that becomes a little bit more difficult because you can't get back to the pier that easy. So really good day, smooth. They were about waist to shoulder high. I did see a couple of head highs come through, but when they were so rare that you were out of position because you were further in. And then when the big ones came, you tried to paddle out fast to get them, but by the time you got outside, they were already either occupied by a surfer or they were already broke and they were too late to catch. So it was a good size, a little bit on the small side, but I'm not against that. So we shall see what tomorrow will bring. It looks like the same wave forecast. I'm not sure what the weather might still be a little cloudy, but as the weekend shows up, all the weather reports are showing the weekend being really, really good as far as weather's concerned. The surf is still small and the tide's coming up now in the morning. Going down in the morning. So then at about 8 o'clock this morning, it was low tide. So tomorrow it'll be probably about 8:30, 8:40, low tide, and then on up as the week goes on, 8, 9, 10 low tide. So it'll be going down in the morning. And that's usually not the best. Usually best when it's coming up. And, of course, the size makes a big difference as well. So there you have it. A few little birdies flying around, but nothing big. No wildlife today. But the interesting thing about the pier is when it was so low, you can see all the barnacles and starfish stuck on the pillars on the pier. And I saw 2 bright orange starfish on the side of the pier. But they're alive, and they're eating the little clam-type shells that are on there. I don't know what they're called. They're not the mussels. They're a little smaller, and they're white. I think that's what they're eating, so good for them. So thanks for listening. We will check in tomorrow and see what's going on. Surf's been getting better, so pretty good. Almost summertime. Water temperatures like 62 to 64. And way better than the 59s, 57s, 55s are very cold. So just, a few little cold spurts when you first get in, but after you're in the water, it feels great. So, all right, so I'll see you out there, and thanks for listening. Check out our sponsors, Task Bullet, nappyclothing.com, and Swing Easy Hammocks, and, of course, mine, WordPress, Dan Nappy. Read my book for free. Thanks. Bye.